demolished by their own doing over the past couple years in a big blow to American plane makers. What else do we got? Oh, yes, the Bears defeated the Washington Commanders 15-12 yesterday after a game-winning touchdown from Roshan Johnson with 20 seconds left, after which I turned off the game, deleted Twitter, and the Bears didn't allow a touchdown for the first 59 minutes and 40 seconds of the game. So
yeah, right.
That's good. Go Bears.
Yeah.
Beyond that, we're a little light on eco this week, John. Is there anything that you're looking at?
Yeah. So, well, as for today, I mean, there's not a lot coming out today for sure. We've got the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index coming out at 9:30 Central Chicago time. 10:30, there's a 2-year and 6-month bill auction. At noon, there's a 5-year and 6-month bill auction. But just to kind of look it through the rest of the week, we've got some housing numbers coming out. Tomorrow is international trade, retail inventories, wholesale inventories, Case-Shiller home prices, FHA home prices, consumer confidence, and the job opens, labor turnover. Yes, it's about unemployment and employment this week. We got the ADP employment report on Wednesday morning, along with GDP, a couple of notes announcements, bond announcements, and of course, always on Wednesday is the EIA petroleum status report. On Thursday, jobless clams, personal income and outlays, employment cost index, Chicago PMI, EI natural gas report. And on Friday, of course, the unemployment numbers and non-farm payrolls due out at 7:30 a.m. Central Chicago time on Friday. That's really the biggie as far as economic numbers this week. We also have PMI manufacturing final, ISM manufacturing index, and construction spending all on Friday. As far as earnings today, no major earnings. Later, after the close, we've got Waste Management and Ford. But we do have the majority of the Magnificent Seven coming out this week. Now, just to kind of go over those, we've got Google or Alphabet, whatever you want to call it, after the close, along with Visa, AMD. After the close on Wednesday, Microsoft, Meta, AMG. And on Thursday, after the close, Apple, Amazon, Intel. Lots of big earnings coming out. None of them, of course, for today, but we'll be certainly keeping an eye on all of that. And as far as the VIX is concerned, it's down about 2.25% this morning. At 1926, it was 1884 on Friday at this time. Dollar index 104.21, pretty much exactly where it was Friday at this time. And the yield on the 10-year pretty much flat at 4.24%. It was 4.24%. It was 4.18% at this time on Friday. And that's what we've got as far as eco earnings and everything else. We're getting ready for an exciting week this week.
Very exciting week. We got great guests. We got great everything else. We also have great tips of the week. So maybe let's hit that real quick before we go at it. Tip of the week, know your edge. An edge can be a specific setup or a context. What market state do you perform best in? Trending, range-bound? Can your risk-reward ratio be considered an edge? How about your winning trade percentage? I would argue all of these can be edge. Hogue, what's your edge?
I completely agree with that. And my edge has changed a lot in the years that I've been trading. In the trading pit, a lot of folks really just considered the edge the ability to buy the bid or sell the offer. That was the edge. You got the edge on the trade because you bought the bid or you sold the offer. Edges have changed quite a bit since those days. And I would consider, Jack, one of the things that you mentioned is the reward over risk ratio. Keeping a positive reward over risk ratio can keep you positive even if things aren't going that well. 2-to-1 reward over risk and you're right 4 out of 10 trades, you're still making money. That, to me, sounds like a good edge.
Remember, a futures contract is a zero-sum game, so you got to have some kind of edge to make it work. There's a winner, a loser on each of those contracts. And with that, Hogue, I think we're ready to get to the charts.
Well, all right then. Good morning, everyone. Well, here is the daily in the S&Ps, and I do like to say hello to my early birds in the chat here this morning. We've got Command 88, Blue Ken, Art, Slippers, Kyle, Nick. Good morning, Fez, Chris, Rich, Theo. Good morning, Man Cave, Yabbersmack, Vincent, and Galvanizer Trades. Good morning. So here is the daily in the E-mini S&Ps. We lost about 10,000 contracts on Friday, and as far as open interest is concerned, on a down day, Market did try to look higher, but sellers did come in, and it looks like we did liquidate some longs here on Friday. Well, that would make a little bit of sense, and considering the uncertainties that are in the markets and that are in the world right now, of course, everybody's going to be focusing first this week on all those earnings. And do remember, it is 8 days to the election, presidential election. I think that there's a pretty decent possibility, barring any big surprises on any of these earnings, that we're probably going to be a little bit rangy, although maybe a little bit volatile range, a little bit. Looking at the ladders here, the NASDAQ, the S&P, it looks like all of the ladders are really kind of thin. So a little bit of illiquidity. A lot of folks probably just kind of keeping the things on the sidelines a little bit. But we're going to have to see how this plays out. So, where do we sit right now as far as last week's range and the weekly kickoff range is? Pretty much right in the middle. We've been pushing up a little bit to the upside, but I'm calling this really just last week's high and low. Last week's high, 59.50.5. Last week's low, 58.01 even. Really the kind of range that I'm kind of focusing on for larger opportunities at or near those extremes. Anything in the middle will probably be a little bit of short time frame or shorter time frame trades, and maybe more of a see money, take money type of situation. Take a look at the 30-minute chart here. All right. So we did have a little bit of a gap opening last night at 5:00. But the market really isn't holding any overnight inventory as far as, the market opened, it popped a little bit, but it's really just been kind of ranging and kind of popping back and forth. And this consolidation does a lot to even out all that inventory. I'm now looking at a market that is charged with a lot of positioning right on the open here. So I'm going to try and stay patient. The market is opening in range pretty much inside of value. Try and stay patient, look for better trade locations as the day goes on. The profile on Friday was a double distribution trend day, which means that the market opened, ranged, rejected that range, and began to range lower. So that kind of puts us, if we were to open between those two accumulations or distributions of time and volume, it kind of puts us in a situation where we might come into repair. Repair would be just to come into this upper distribution, see if there's any business left to do up there, and then rotate down to the lower distribution. I've kind of got loose levels on those distributions at 58.82 to the upside and 58.45 to the downside. So do fall into kind of repair. Those might be some interesting areas to look for opportunities. And again, no suggestion, no prediction here, just trying to put these markets in a little bit of context here early on a Monday. So with that double distribution opening between those two distributions does have a tendency to create repair. We've kind of coming up to the upper area of that distribution. And not only that, where did we trade to overnight? Well, we traded to the upper area of distribution, that 58.82 level. Have we gotten down to the 58.45 level? No, not really. So a little bit of repair in the overnight session. I'm going to try and stay patient today. It is Monday. We are opening in range and in value with possible repair. Look for good trade locations as the day goes on. How about the NASDAQ? All righty. NASDAQ. 03805. Okay. The daily. Well, last week we had a pretty good week as far as the NASDAQ is concerned. It seems as though where we kind of finished the week, it had some, pretty deep pullbacks, but I think that we've started to kind of price in maybe some positive earnings that are mostly coming out this week as far as the tech earnings are concerned. So it seems like we've kind of priced in some positive earnings, and we see the market continuing to try and push up in that direction. Where we lost open interest in the S&Ps on a down day, we gained open interest in the NASDAQ of approximately 5,300 contracts. As the market did try and push higher, it did put value higher. It did try and push higher. It was again another double distribution trend day to the downside, but it performed much better than the S&Ps. The S&Ps closed down 3 points. The Nasdaq closed up 118 points, so it did perform to the upside a little bit better than the S&Ps. And again, maybe a little bit of pricing in for some positive earnings coming out this week. Where are we as far as the day is overnight inventory? Where are we with in relation to yet Friday's session? Overnight inventory pretty much flat. No inventory adjustment expected. The market is looking like it's going to open in range and in value, and it's coming off those highs here a little bit. We're kind of in the same situation as in the S&Ps. We have a potential for repair. Repair really comes from market profile or volume profile, where the market kind of opened, looked higher. We don't really have a true double distribution trend day here. The market opened and put in a low late in the session, but it did hold up a lot better. It opened, rallied, came back, and then settled. So where the most of the volume was on that push to the upside, which leads me to believe that we did bring in some new longs that are probably currently happy that we're up in the upper half of Friday's range if they're going to be looking to see if any profits in some of those trades. So again, no real overnight inventory, market trading inside range and value, potential for repair, looking like we're going to probably open in the upper distribution. Opening between the two distributions lends a little bit more probability towards repair. But if we are going to repair, we're looking at about 20,641 on the upper area for a potential area to target repair. Well, we just got up there. What about to the downside? 20,520. 20,520 looks like kind of the high volume node in the lower distribution of time and volume. So we'll have to see if that plays out. Did we add new shorts in this market? Well, with the volume on the upside early in the session on Friday and the low volume on the pushback, looking at that as possible new longs coming in to this market. So now what happened to crude oil? A lot of speculation on Friday as to what was going to happen in the Mideast. Well, there was retaliation. There was an attack, but they did not attack Iran's oil fields, oil facilities, or the nuclear facilities. So while there was a lot of speculation that might happen, it did not. So now we've got crude oil marching to the downside, which, I'm good with that. Still, it really remains a very touchy market. Anything that happens in the Middle East will have a big effect on crude oil. But right now, they haven't attacked anything. So it looks like, supply chains are intact, whatever that means. So we're opening below weekly kickoff low. And when we take a look at this on the 30-minute chart, here's Friday's close, all the way up at 71.78, 71.78. We've got a gap, a weekend gap to the downside. Where did that weekend gap take us to? It basically took us to the weekly kickoff low, 68.65 even. Weekly kickoff low as we were coming into or prior to the regular trading hour open into the London session. Sellers came in and continued to try and push this market to the downside. There are some weak structures down below. There's a naked point of control down at 65.90 that could be targeted visually by traders. And as visual as markets are, if traders are looking at a level, they have a tendency to try and push price to that level. So we'll keep an eye. So we see some continuation down to this naked point of control down here at 65.90. Could be an interesting area for just to get out of some of a position, possibly an opportunity to limit risk on a new position. I personally don't want to try and fight this downside until I get some sort of structure to lean on to help me limit the risk. So even if the market does get down to this point of control down here, I'm going to want to see it come through, maybe come back above, come back, touch it, and then see the market head in the opposite direction. We don't know what's going to happen. And as we always say, ACH traders, ACH, anything can happen. So, earnings, election, uncertainty overseas, all of these things are certainly going to be constantly viewed, and anything that happens can change things in a heartbeat. So always remember, CYA, folks, cover your ass. Use stops. That's it. Use stops. Even if they're catastrophic stops, if something happens, you want to make sure that you're getting out. And of course, as all of us that have been taking the Series 3 know, a stop doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be getting out at a good price. There's always there can be slippage. If you're using stop limits, those can get left behind. No guarantees with stops, but it's our best opportunity to try and limit that risk. All right. Gold. Boy, oh boy, we've had the nice run up in gold. We're currently kind of consolidating after about 4 days. Well, we're kind of in 4 days of current balance. And this is what markets do. They rally or break, and then they consolidate. And then they rally or break, and then they consolidate. And then they break and consolidate, and then they rally and consolidate. We're currently digestive. We added 2,700 in open interest yesterday on Friday, on a push up to and an attempt to get above weekly kickoff high from last week, which was 2,760. It remains the weekly kickoff high from this week because there was no real or true acceptance above that level. It's still an area that I believe longer time frame traders will need to want to or be forced to adjust inventories if the situation presents itself. So far, I don't think that we've seen a lot of inventory adjustment in longer time frames, and in this current area of balance, of course, that is going to be mostly shorter time frame pea shooters, speculators like me, just kind of bouncing price back and forth. So we have the 30-minute chart here. All right. Well, overnight inventory? No. Are we outside range and value from Friday? No. Are we potentially in an area of repair? Yes, we are. We had a double distribution trend day to the upside. In other words, again, another area of volume and time, a distribution, a balance area that was left quickly, created another area of balance, and the market opened right in between, right in the single TPOs here on the TPO chart, if we could see it here. Right here, little single line of TPOs. That's where the market opens. So the market is in a potential repair area, and I would say that it is currently trading at its upper distribution point of control. If we're going to go into repair, I've got it written down right here, 2751 even. Where's that high? That high is 2751.30. So we've achieved repair in the upper distribution. If this market rolls over and turns around and comes back down and checks the lower point of control in the lower distribution, that would be 2741. No. Yes, 2741. Yeah. So it's about a $10 area where the market could just kind of fall into repair and kind of balance between the two distributions. So we've got to this one. If the market turns around, it could easily come down and recheck that 2741 $10 range early in the session at least. But I know it's Monday, and Mondays have typically been not my best trading days. So I'm going to try and stay patient, suggesting everybody, if you notice that Monday's not your best day, stay patient, look for good trade locations. Maybe don't even look for trades, because I find that when I go looking for trades, I'm going to find them, and they may not be the ones I'm looking for. So I'm going to be patient, let the market come to me, and let me know, hey, this is what you've been looking for. This is the one you want. You've been looking for all these trades. This is the one you want. So folks, take your deep breath. Stay humble, grateful, creative, and centered in your trading today. And by all means, every day, pray for peace. Let's have a great trading day.
Let's do it. And it's going to be a great day here on Topstep TV. We have back from his exile, MP, the CEO and founder of Topstep, will be in Fast Markets with John Hoagland, recent Series 3 champion. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. Also joining will be Coach Dakota, fresh off the IR from 3 days of getting teeth taken out, drinking that milk of the poppy. He is of sound mind and sound trading character. He'll be here. He's the star of Slow Markets, Sunday to Thursday at 7:30 Central on Topstep TV. Also, Nick for a Tick, the star of the Market Kickoff every Sunday at 4:45 p.m. Central on our YouTube channel. They're both great. They're both some of our top traders. You're going to see what happens here. I'm excited, Hoag. Are you ready to do this?
I am raring and ready to go. Raring and ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, it's Monday. Let's get weird. We'll be back right after this break. Let's get our prevent defense 3 yards in front of the goal line.
You had to do it, Jack. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Topstep TV. This is Fast Markets. Yes, indeed. We're still reeling from the Bears' loss on the final play of the game yesterday. That Hail Mary that Dakota is reveling in right now. Anyways, we got Michael Patak in the house. We got Nick for a Tick in the house. Coach Dakota in the house with a very odd background. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Anyways, good morning, gentlemen. Nick for a Tick. How we doing?
We are doing well, except for if you're a Chicago Bears fan and you see that Hail Mary at the end of the game. Pretty unfortunate. But what a interesting spot that we are opening up on. I couldn't really explain what the initial gap up and go kind of move was out of Globex last night. I don't know if that was a Republican presidential win or if that was some news that just I couldn't see, but we've been pretty bullish out of the gate so far in the overnight. So I'm curious to see how we open here shortly.
Yes, indeed. Did gap up on the reopen yesterday. Coach Dakota, what is that in your background?
Yeah, this is just Bears doing Bears things, right? Everyone. It is what it is. I mean, is it really a surprise? Is it? Is it really?
I'm going with CAC right now. CAC goes enough with football. 10 seconds into the start of the enough with football. Let's get to trading. So that's
all right. Well,
let's jump right in.
All right.
So
that's what the people
what
want.
Nick Vertick was saying, and I agree. We did have, I think it was Japan elections over the weekend, and if you take a look at like the Japanese market, Nikkei, that was pretty volatile. We gapped down 2%, and we rallied 4% off that low. So we're seeing volatility across the board, and I think Hogue was talking about earlier. I mean, crude oil dropping, $4 or $5 a barrel, and this is a very volatile market session. And as day traders, we absolutely love it. So let's watch it. I'm obviously a bull on the NASDAQ. The question here is, are we going to fill this gap that we started this week? I don't know. Well, for me, it's just hands, sit on my hands, watch, be patient, and take quality trades over quantity.
I like that. Michael, welcome back. Your much-deserved holiday. Question for you. If you want to put on your trading cap, you've been in this for a long time. When you be off for a few days away from the market, you come back in on a Monday, how do you get yourself back in the groove of getting yourself back into the markets and trading? What would you do in previous times?
Usually size down. Usually wait for high probability trades. Usually patience.
Yep.
Usually focus on getting back in tune. Whatever in tune with you is, if it's the morning routine, that needs to start. You need 2 or 3 days before the morning routine starts to feel like your routine again, and then it gets your mind stable before you start trading. However, that's how I'd always do it.
I like that. What about in the pits? How would you get back in the groove in the pits? There's no like easing your way back in, is there?
You do all that. You do the same thing, but then an order comes in from a broker and he slams you with $100, and then you
game on.
Then it's ding, 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 game on. Yeah,
perfect timing. All right, we are open. NASDAQ, ESRC, some sellers out of the gate. Ho, talk us through the opening trade here. Opening range trade, I should say.
All right, looking here at the profiles in the S&P or in the NASDAQ, actually, if you want to go on my chart, here's the range from Friday, double distribution-ish kind of trend day. A lot of volume up here, very low volume right where we opened up, a lot of volume down here. I'm looking for this market to repair itself. Overnight session, we got up to the upper area of potential repair in the upper distribution. The market has opened. If we get down to the lower distribution, that would kind of constitute repair, and that's what I'm looking for this market to do. So when we open in range, in value, in a double distribution ish kind of day, like in the NASDAQ, it was a double distribution day in the S&P. We're going to look and see if we can set up a range in between these two distributions of time and volume. Let those extremes establish themselves and work those extremes for our potential opportunities. I would say we've already repaired the upper distribution. Market seems to want to come down and repair the lower distribution. I've got a loose level down there at 20,520 for repair of the lower distribution. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to be patient today again because we've opened in range and in value from Friday's session.
Ooh, yep. 20,520. I remember that price from last week. Dakota, go ahead. We're selling off right now.
No, I mean that's exactly it. I mean, let's see if we can fill that gap that we left from the open last night. I mean, we did come down here and touch 580, and the next question is, can we fill it? I do see some support that might come into play around 50s in the 50s, maybe 50s to 60s. But here we go. Just as we're speaking, there's 30 points.
Nothing on a tilt yet. 60% short. Lots of traders trading.
MP got the keys to the house account. Hose managing the house account.
73% short. 74%
short.
Interesting. Yeah, someone says gaps always fill.
Always.
Not necessarily. I've seen traders get caught in very, very bad positions.
Yeah, that's a bold statement. They don't always.
Yeah.
Careful with always.
Well, that's always. That's the guarantees and always and all those for sures. Those don't exist in the world of trading. So you can get that out of the trading vocabulary.
I used usually last night when we gapped up, and I said there's no time to when it usually gets filled. There could be tomorrow, it could be overnight, it could be in 3 months. We don't know, but usually they get filled.
Yeah,
you do want to be specific with your word. You do want to be specific with your words. I've found that in general. For one, to create so your bias doesn't stick, so you don't have a bias that sticks around and it stays flexible, and also so you don't mislead people. You get newbie traders that come in here and it's like it's gonna go up, it's gonna do whatever it wants to do. I mean, this is right away. If somebody said that, I'm like, what? No, it's gonna do what it wants to do. I think it's gonna go up because of this, Y, X, Y, and Z. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dan Evans says there's still gaps back from 2010. Yeah, I mean, there's gaps where it gaps up, and we may never see that price again.
All right. Well, the Dow is pushing higher.
I could say gaps to the downside typically get filled a lot more than gaps to the upside because the market continues to hit all-time highs.
You see the Dow is staying strong. Buyers coming out of the gate here, pushing to highs, 42,616 last. As I saw some selling, saw bounce off the 564. We were looking for perhaps a pullback to 520. See if we can still get that this morning. We are bright and early. Starting this trading week off, 85% long in crude right now. 85% long crude last price trade. Crude 67.43.
Hovering just below 600 here in the NASDAQ. We failed to retake it.
Oh, shoot. Cancel off.
Coda, you seem like you're back to 100%, by the way. Good to have you back.
I'd say like 95, 90. It still hurts to eat, like I can't eat a steak. So I'm still limited on.
Well, you could pause on that for a week.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a interesting choice to immediately try to go eat again. I was thinking softer
a bone fillet, please, medium.
For me, it's like 100% is when I could eat whatever I want.
I'm with you.
He's ready to have a cowboy ribeye bone in and just be like eating the gristle off of the bone.
Tomahawk with his.
You can do the thinly sliced wagyu now. The razor thin. You can do that steak now.
How would you know what that is?
There's a nice restaurant up in Salt Lake that now sells wagyu.
All the good stuff.
No Doritos or potato chips, Dakota. No Doritos, no potato chips.
Yeah, it still hurts. Don't get me wrong. It still hurts. I took a couple Tylenol before sitting down at my desk this morning.
All right. Well, good to have you back.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
The only man that'll pass an NFA exam or FINRA exam rather while recovering recovering from wisdom teeth surgery. That's just a
I have
funny
a
thing.
great story
for
on
you.
that. I probably shouldn't share on stream, but
Well, here we are.
Well, here we are. You have to share now.
Well, yeah.
yeah, I
hold
mean,
on.
the medicines
Luke.
from the dentist are a crazy thing. I had to get an Uber there because I couldn't operate a vehicle, and I had to get an Uber back because I was still feeling it. I don't know. I don't even remember the entire experience. But I passed.
He gave you the good stuff.
I mean,
All right, here we go. More
No.
selling coming in here in the S&P or the Nasdaq. Nasdaq tried popping about a 6 or 30-point bounce off the 564s. Now they're trying to figure out we're going to take it to the 90s. We'll come back to 564.
Coach Jay, if you're in the chat somewhere, I know we've been talking about the 1 minute opening range on the NASDAQ, but we broke down, came back, retested the 1 minute opening range mid on NQ, and then sold off right from that again. So another day where if you're kind of watching and looking for potentially some new trades to take or some new breakdowns, breakout type trades out of smaller, tighter opening ranges, there's another somewhat example so far. Came right back to that mid.
Getting right here.
Yeah, we got S&P and NASDAQ have the opening range at the dead ass high of the session so far.
Mhm.
Opposite for the Dow. The Dow has the opening range at the dead ass low. Opposite directions again.
Crude's bouncing. Oil's just, or gold's off to the races. Gold's off.
Yeah,
to the
gold
races.
is. Look at that. Gold's crude 89% long in crude right now. 89% long in crude. Average price $67.46.
Okay.
Actually, right here, right
maybe
now.
a long opportunity in the Nasdaq, Nick. If we could break back up into these 600s.
Yeah, I'm looking like, what is that? Sorry, I'm trying to. Somewhere
Oh,
between
really,
maybe the 80s and 70s, possibly for a long two, if we can hold that spot. If not, yeah, the breakout back above 600, I could see at least for a trip towards 625, 626. But so far, we're just kind of hanging and at the bottom of the opening range, and it makes me a little nervous that we may go try to take out some of that volume from the initial overnight push back towards 530s on NQ. If we're to lose the spot right here, right now.
It's just consolidating right here at these 580s, 590s. It's just that range where we bounce around 20 point range.
Still strong.
God.
Strong lean, strong long tilt in the crude. Keep an eye on that. Gold, just seeing some buyers right out of the gate. Gold pushing higher, 27.54. Last trade high of the day, 27.56. So about $2 off the highs there. And oil really isn't moving just yet, even with this heavy long bias. NASDAQ 67% short. ES 67% short as well. ES selling off. Hogue said dead ass high. Opening range. Dead ass high. Correct, Hogue? In ES and NASDAQ?
Yes. Very big opening ranges, though. I mean, the opening minute is it's almost the entire session range so far. Here's the NASDAQ.
70% short tilt.
Yep.
Here's the opening range in the NASDAQ. So let's call it 625 all the way down to 682. So I mean, that's a pretty sizable opening range, and it's bigger than than any extension outside of it. So really, just kind of looked at the upper distribution. I'm looking for this market to come down to the lower distribution and then focus on those extremes again. As long as we keep the opening range the high of the session, that's a tendency to keep me looking for potential shorts. Anything can happen, though.
Pushing right back into the 90s.
Pin to the top of the chat. You'll see every day, all Monday through Friday. All right, more sellers coming here. Topstep daily levels. Make sure you have those open, or even have them on your charts. I know MP has them on his charts as well. We'll be
Right on my
referring to
charts.
throughout the day. Topstep daily levels. Pin to the top of the chat. Have it open somewhere on your screen. I'll go referring to them throughout the week. Currently trading 20,588.
How's the ES?
NASDAQ.
The ES is a bit stronger, huh?
Zone 2.
Is there a 3-bar reversal setting up? in the NASDAQ?
Yes, MP. Yes, there is. Yes.
MP.
The break
Is it
above.
really a 3-bar reversal for just sitting at the bottom of the opening range?
Okay.
Yeah, this is a difficult one though because it is basically the open
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I could call it that, but
it's just a difficult situation. I'd like for us to move first in a direction and then get a reversal. But yeah, I see exactly what you see. We're consolidating here and a break above 600.
60% short.
Would be that trade. I just don't like it. I see what it is.
How is everybody in the? You'd rather what?
Wait for
it's
us
not
to either
reversing.
break down and then look for a 3-bar reversal, or break up and look for a 3-bar reversal. Some type of a
with that.
move.
I'm with
he
that,
has to go
Dakota.
below.
Let's
Okay.
let's get that that lower distribution checked, and then we'll see what we can find there for a 3-bar reversal.
What's the lower distribution area?
So I've got
That is
kind of a loose
the-
level on that 20,520.
520.
20,530 is a previous weekly kickoff level.
Oh, yeah. it is.
20,522 is a pivot level. 20,523 is value low of Coach Vince. 20,524 is a value area low. Again, that's Coach Ray.
I remember 530.
We're looking at 20,604 and a quarter is average session range high, according to Coach Ray, our wildebeest coach.
Wildebeest. Mindset hunters.
Mindset hunters, I know.
Mhm.
Nasdaq's pushing the low.
Right here's
Push lower.
75% short micros, 72% short NASDAQ minis. Average price 93s. They're about 30 handles in the money. Nice to be
They're
30
making-
handles in the money on a short right now. Now you're
Yeah,
about
it
40
is.
handles in the money.
Yeah, it
Are
is.
you going to get
Push
paid?
lower. New lows.
Are you looking
New lows.
for more?
They're getting
Holger,
paid.
remember those 520s and 530s from last week in the NASDAQ? Very, very strong level last
Yeah.
week.
I feel like it's been a level since like September, like
Right,
parts
the
of September.
530s.
That 530s has been an important spot for weeks
Whatever.
now.
Yes.
Man, look at that. 20 points just
I got my-
straight up.
I got my nephew looking long term. Is this keeps texting me, Uncle Mikey? When can I buy it now? Oh, just wait.
Come on. Just tell them to buy it.
No, you
Just tell
did
me-
that to him.
It
He
worked.
calls Andre's like, just buy it. Next day he's like, hey, did you get all the money transferred over to your account? He's like, yeah, I got to transfer over. I'm long. I'm like, why are you long right now?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yes.
Andre told me to get long.
Yeah. Made all time highs that week.
Well, he made money on it, but I got him out. He's sitting with dry powder right now. I want him sitting with dry powder, Dre.
He's paying taxes.
Dry
on it.
powder.
Always paying taxes.
Where do we buy it?
Freshman in college.
Learn
do
about
not pay
capital
taxes.
gains today.
Yeah, you're going to learn about short-term capital gains, nephew.
Just put it in the tip column, so when the Republicans win, you don't have to pay taxes on it.
There you go. All right, Dow very,
Yes,
very
no,
strong.
hold
Dow,
on.
Dow making highs after high after high. Last trade 42,670, 673 high of the day.
75% long. Short.
89%.
Sorry, 74%.
89% long in crude right now.
Something
67.58
crude.
last trade. Heavy.
It's bouncing off
From
70.67.
48.
Question: I wonder if crude's going to fill that gap. I mean, that's one heck of a gap from basically 71.60 down to 69.
It probably will, but we don't know when.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, good patience so far. Good patience. I like this. Only about this time I'd be asking, Eddie, what do we have on the economic calendar today on this Monday? Well, I took a peek. It's going to be out today. Took a peek. Pretty much all we got today is the 5-year. Scratch that.
Isn't there
The
a
2-year. Yeah, we got a 2-year. 2-year.
Yeah.
A 2-year at 10:30 and a 5-year at high noon. Interesting. Typically 2 years at noon as well. Okay, so we have a 2-year at 10:30 Central Time, so just under 2 hours. Then high noon here Central Time, we got a 5-year as well. Bond auctions.
Got a Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index at 9:30 Central Chicago time as well.
Nick. Boots on the ground in Dallas.
Yields
What do we
are
think about
going
the Fed activity in Dallas right now?
I don't know. I could go down that Fed building's like 5 minutes down the road for me. I can go knock on the door, get the beige book, whatever you need.
Yeah, get the beige book while you're at it.
No, Nick, give me the beige book. Intern Nick, give me the beige book. That's what they used to do at Andre's.
I did.
Andre's prop house.
I think we made the joke like 2 weeks ago. If you guys get an intern next summer from one of the Chicago business schools, I feel like we should do it.
Well, we tried it with Gabe. We tried hazing Gabe, then we found out he's too good to be sitting at the intern level. He was actually past intern, and then we're like, we can't really haze somebody who's already in the club. So
we're definitely.
But yeah, I think someone at a Northwestern or something in Chicago next summer, we should be able to do that too.
100%.
Next summer, good hazing back. That's good hazing, guys. It's fun.
It's harmless fun.
Good hazing. Yeah.
Western has emailed me. They are looking for places to put interns. We can make this happen rather easily.
I love it.
Northwestern. I don't know, Jack. It's a little soft. Want to go a little bit more.
Saying outdoors can't trade.
Outdoors can't trade. Listen, kid. You're gonna need to come back with this beige book. If you don't come back from this with the beige book, don't bother coming back.
Don't come back.
Talk's going to be on a plane. He's going to be back here in Chicago. You do not want that. Go get the beige book.
You hand deliver that book to Michael. Hand deliver that book to Michael or else.
Well, we'll have shitload of lawsuits going on. Dude, we're just having fun. Trader
We did get down to those 50s, those 550s, and we found support right there. Like this is what yesterday, Friday. This looks like the major resistance from Friday. We got there. We found support, and so. Are we going to bounce off of this? The question. Maybe a double bottoming pattern here on the 100 tick.
Yeah, I can see. I can see longs right here.
Yeah, I can see longs as well, cool. Nick.
Oh, these guys are talking about longs. Yes, and NASDAQ.
But we do have an afternoon pullback high, which is pretty much where Dakota's looking at the resistance that came in late in the session on Friday. It's 20,567.
I am just wondering, do we consolidate Monday and Tuesday, waiting for the big boys to start reporting on Wednesday?
Who reports Wednesday?
Not be ideal. Well, we have Microsoft and Meta reporting on Wednesday. You have Apple and Amazon reporting on Thursday. So does the market kind of consolidate in the next couple of days?
Big boys.
And Tesla just reported, right?
Last week.
Up 20% one day, Michael.
Yeah, I know. I bought 100 shirts from them 2 weeks ago. And I felt really good.
After the robot party. Yeah,
I forgot.
After the robot party, I'm like,
tomorrow.
This should not be down 10%.
I still think there's so the news. But yeah, if he actually delivers on this robot, I don't want to drive anymore. I just want to have a car show up to right outside my door and right to my next door. I don't want to drive, and I don't want that other person on the road to drive. I don't want that person to be upset and texting. Those two. Yes, I want the cars to talk to each other, and then I want them to go faster to the destination. All this why get me out of the driver's seat. Get everybody out of the driver's seat. So if the robot thing works, bananas.
Yeah,
I think that is the only way it would work, right? You kind of have to have.
You got to have
the human error.
Yeah, you got to have You got to have a 1975 F-150 in the street talking to a robot car. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I wonder.
All right, here we go.
When autonomous cars are actual things, can you be drunk in it?
You can do whatever you want in it.
Like an airplane, right?
You and Donna can on your way home. You could do whatever you want.
Anything?
All right,
here we go.
He's very mad.
Hey, Trader Don C in the chat. Hell yeah! After going on tilt last 3 weeks, just past 5 $150,000 combines. Good job.
Nice.
Pull up in the chat. So what is your driving preference? I like driving. Have the robots drive for me. I just like riding shotgun.
Of course, I love driving, but then you get racetracks going. Then we just all hey, you want to drive? Let's go to the race. I'll meet you at the racetrack. How fun is that? You can make racetracks through mountains and
I love this
dirt tracks. And
73% short Nasdaq. Average price 585. About 20 points in the money.
I mean, Elon's going to have everybody driving in tunnels anyway. So there's all the roads on top. They're going to be wide open. Just make them racetracks.
Wow.
I mean, he's getting us to the future quicker than anybody else.
And
Doing the heavy
that's
lifting,
a fair
that's for damn
argument.
sure. He's catching rockets out of midair.
Yeah. Oh God. The only thing he's got to work on is dancing skills when he comes out on stage.
Yeah, he's a nerd.
Right, Nasdaq's
Going to
pushing. We're
530s.
selling off 540s.
540s MPU got a level 520, Michael. 520, big level.
With 520, we also have the 526s as a level.
Talk to us, Hogue. 520s.
526s. Friday's value area low.
Nice.
Yep. And 522 is also a pivot level from Coach Paul.
Okay.
Are these?
Okay.
What would be risk on this? Because what we get what always gets me a little like when the market starts to build momentum. Now it feels like it's building momentum to the downside, and these are numbers that are just only 20 handles away from here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So then the
I don't like
slippage.
just buying it. I have to wait and see the market.
125
change up.
chasing down on
Hey.
NQ.
Yes, it is. Nick, good call, Nick. Yep. Came all the way down.
It just got filled.
Yep.
Yep.
It's got filled. Nothing shows on the time and sales though. They're all one lots to me on mine.
Did he
Same.
pull it?
I saw chasing.
Uh,
I
think
don't
that-
know.
No,
if it
that got
hit-
filled.
hit.
That got filled. There's like 200 there.
Really? Okay.
Nice work.
That got filled.
See, now I look for a 3-bar reversal MP. Now that we started to get this
That's
move.
that's what we want. We want some sort of basing, some sort of reversal pattern.
Mm-hmm. We're almost where we opened.
Wow. Here we go. Sellers coming in. Pushing lower. Last trade,
Let's see if we could-
20,533. 534 now.
Let's see if we could fill this gap.
What's the price we need to get to fill the gap, guys?
Like 475.
Yeah,
5.
it's
Okay. Still got some.
480s, 470. Yeah, 480s ish, somewhere down there.
This is where it gets a little tricky, right? Because everyone who wants to play that gap fill might be selling down here. And they could get caught. They could get
yes,
caught.
they can.
And they could get put in a very bad situation if we rally right back up to these highs.
And there was another opportunity to short off of the 1 minute opening range low on NQ again. Interesting.
75% short. NASDAQ. Oh, guys, when I quote this, somebody goes, oh, mine says something different. I look at the micros and the minis, and I say both of them. So I'll start just averaging them. Well, you guys see the minis. I believe you see the minis.
What price you
I
got?
believe.
The 73% they're short. I see 560.
About 70s, 570s ish.
Wow.
I'm going in between. Averaging.
Gold still
Listen.
rallying hard.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some possible continuation in that gold trade, but it's too far from the IB high to try to risk that much.
Yeah.
Mo, you go. Come on, MP. I thought you were a real one. You want to give up decision making to some cars, man? Some decisions, yeah. I go to calculator quite a bit for decisions on my math.
MP's always got a ring a ding ding ready to go if you need
He's
it.
doing great.
Good.
We're all
Hey,
going to
watching
Disney
this
World.
crude. All right, crude did peel back a little bit. We saw. We still see 85% long in crude. 85% long in crude right now. As we do push higher here.
3-bar reversal on ES.
1, 2, 3.
Man,
Right down to
ES is
30s.
just holding.
Did trade down
I'm
to
gonna focus
30s.
on NASDAQ. ES is just not really volatile.
The guiding light, Anne Marie. Wait for settlement, fellas. I would have thought. I put
100%.
boys in there, Anne. Wait for settlement, boys.
What settlement at?
What is settle at?
Settlement in NASDAQ is Exactly. 20,498.75.
498, 490s. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that coming too. I could see 490s coming.
Mm-hmm.
Topstep daily
Down
levels.
to pretty close to that 520 level where I'm kind of saying we've finished repair from the distributions on Friday. So we start to see any kind of reversal patterns down in this area, in this neighborhood. I think it's worth a shot.
Yep, and I think
Although it's
we
hard
might
for me
just
to
be
say
getting
that.
it right now. We might be getting something
There you
right
go.
now. Oh, man, happened way
There you
too fast for
Oh,
me
it's
to
gone.
react. Dang it!
He's got a nibble.
Yeah, if we pull back, I'm
Nice
getting in
vision
long.
pull.
If we pull back, we might not pull back.
Pullback. All right.
20,530 is a weekly kickoff level from 3 weeks ago that I've left on my charts because I just kind of feel like it still has some value to it. And that's pretty much right where we traded down to.
I don't like how he reacted. Nope. Nope. I'm
Yeah,
not getting
Dakota.
long. Nope. It
That's
just
why you stay patient.
it changed way
Rejected.
too fast. It changed way
Yes, it
too
did.
fast.
Yes, it's still just hanging around.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Slow to the party today.
Man, that was quite the
You know,
move.
1 year ago, we were
30
trading NASDAQ.
Go ahead.
Was trading 1 year ago, 15,000.
No,
Handle.
is that true?
I don't know.
We're 5,000
Yeah.
points.
Yeah,
I mean, in
think so.
August, we
Yeah,
were trading 17,000s fives.
Yeah.
The low's like 15,000 in October 2023. I'm just looking at weekly charts. I'm zoomed out.
Sure.
I'm I like to zoom way out when I start the week and get back in.
Gold's seen about $8 pullback right now. Topped out at 27.56. Last trade 27.52. I'm at $4 pullback. All right, your buyers again, Dakota. Buyers are going to try capture momentum again one more time. Can they do it? I mean, 20,547. We're talking about the NASDAQ right now.
That's correct, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
You see another V-shaped bottom here.
we might.
We've seen
We
quite
might.
a bit of
I
those,
think
haven't we,
that was-
Dogs?
I'm getting over those, to be honest. I would love to see some structure
Flashbacks.
cleaned up.
We got a number coming
Like
out.
No number. Dallas Fed and
I thought it
930.
was 930.
930. Yeah. The NIC tick Fed manufacturing index.
Yeah, I'm going to go get the beige book after we get off here. I don't even know who the Dallas Fed president is.
used to be a guy
Probably
called
should.
Fisher. Be a Fisher. It used to be a Fisher. I don't know who it is these
Just go do it. Just do it for the fun of it. Go down to the. You guys have a Federal Reserve there, don't you? Yeah, you do.
Yeah. It's really not far. It's Lori
you
Logan.
could tour it. Yeah, you could tour it and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You can ask them for shredded money. They love giving it. That's where they give out money, right, Andre? They still charge you
Yes,
for
they do. Yeah,
shredded money.
a bunch of uncut $2 bills and stuff, or $1 bills or something like that. Yeah, here comes the pop, Dakota. Are they
I
gonna take
know,
this higher?
man.
20,005. It was sketch.
It just didn't give me a good setup. So it's a missed. That's okay. Just wait and see if it sets up again. No 3-bar reversal yet on the 5 minute.
oil staying strong.
Those that are in a position that are out there, let us know if something awesome happened over your weekend. We're glass half full type of world over here. Did you have a great weekend? Let us know.
Well,
I did.
Halloween. Yeah.
Well, why was yours great, Hoagman?
I passed.
Oh!
Boom.
Wait,
You guys know that?
Oh,
Hoag passed the 3. Can we get a congratulations here?
great work, man. Great
the
work.
chat.
Yeah, you got crickets, Hoag. Let everybody just like, well,
It was like,
Yeah, great. Yeah.
oh, Hoag, I think
I got you.
There you
Oh,
go.
oh.
Hope for Hogue passing. We're good.
Hell yeah.
great
Hoag's
work.
passed the 3.
How much time did you kind of finish with?
I really just kind of took my time. All the math and the margins and market information and all that stuff was easy for me. I just really took my time and reading and rereading and rereading the regulatory stuff, because that was I knew that was going to be the hard part. So I finished with about 5 minutes left, and I just sat there and I let the time expire. And lo and behold, there was a fanfare, there was a band, there was a keg, there was all kinds of stuff. And when it said pass, so just
You got one of these. You got one of these, right, Hoagland?
Man, you keep
Yeah,
that by your
yeah, I
side,
got it.
don't you? You just that is
Well, someday when
Yeah,
you take
I
the
knew you'd
test,
be asking.
you'll know
So
it's
there it is.
There you
Good
go.
to see you. Dakota,
Great work.
put yours up there.
You want me to go get
Man.
mine?
I need one.
Dakota has his in his bathroom. He looks at it. It's on the mirror every morning. First thing he looks at is that one.
Gotcha.
Then he looks at- Yeah, I look good
Sweet.
already.
Oh, look
No,
at
Hoag,
this.
congratulations. I love how some people
Oh,
are
thank
like
you.
knocking it on Twitter. People are knocking it on Twitter. Like,
In my
Dude, are you-
closet.
I still
There
like
they
I'm
are.
going glass half full here. There you go. There's 2 of them. You got the 30 and the 3. Whoops. Stumbled upon that one. And yes, guys, it
They
is
don't
a
give you a
fairly
grade.
difficult test.
It just says pass.
You don't.
I know. That's so
Get degrees.
frustrating.
I know it is.
That was the most curious thing for me. Is like, well, what did I get? Did I get 70 or did I get like 90? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
Came off
never
those 30s
know.
pretty strong. 40 handles. Yeah, congratulations, Hoag. You're a professional now in the eyes of the regulatory world. You are. You're not a professional
Yeah, Hoag.
in the eyes of the regulatory world.
Yep. And
we
I
got
now
just-
know that the NFA can only levy a fine against me of 250,000 or less.
Oh, they capped it.
Not yet. Not yet. You can do whatever you want right now, Hoag. Enjoy it.
We'll give you some Topstep FDI insurance, FDIC insurance on that one, Hoag.
Hey, Hoag, R.I.P. Phil Lash. Someone in the chat said
Yeah.
that one hurt,
Yeah,
man. That
that's-
one hurt.
Oh man,
I heard about that over the weekend.
that's just
That one hurt.
that was the bad part of this weekend.
What else we got? Anybody in here talking about anything great? We missed that. If you guys had something in
Halloween.
there that was awesome that
Halloween
happened over the
celebration
weekend.
This weekend. Yep,
Yeah, Andre, why don't you share your Halloween costume?
gone here today, gone tomorrow.
Oh my god.
New Halloween costume is going to be the Washington Commanders.
Oh my god.
What a Hail Mary.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
What a Hail Mary! Incredible.
God.
Oh, we did see a pop here.
I didn't watch it. I just seen a highlight of some guy hyping up the crowd in the middle of the gameplay. Like what?
No, he wasn't hyping. He was taunting. He was taunting the
Talking
crowd.
trash to the crowd.
And then he goes, talking trash to the crowd. And then he goes, oh, whoops, the play's going. The last play of the game. It's the NFL. It's the NFL. Like anything can happen. Everybody knows that by now. Oh, whoops. And then he's the one who tips the ball to the guy who caught it in the very back. And he's supposed to be
Wait,
fire him.
was it
Let
him?
him go.
Was it really?
Yes,
him?
you have to make a statement. Let him
He was the
go.
one. He was the
So
one.
we do not need selfish players on our team.
You're not
See
good
you.
enough to be doing
Not even
that.
a conversation.
MP with hot takes. calling into Sports Talk Radio this morning.
Yeah,
Hopefully
but
get
if AM 720, Michael Patak out of
Mike from the
Snowmass, Colorado. Mike from the Valley.
Mike from the Valley.
I was
Line
sitting on
one.
my couch. I could have done 10 times better than him.
Fire them all. All right, got 100 lot here. Downside 566 is. Will it get filled?
5% split.
We did get a 3-bar reversal, but still not seeing anything I like. Sitting on my hands still.
Yes.
Did you guys see that poll, the pulse that's come out? Like the tilt and the pulse, tomato. Did you guys see all that in the chat?
Oh yeah.
Told you guys this data.
did.
Told you guys. You guys stick with Topstep. Because I'm always last to know with everybody else. Stick with Topstep. It's called the ladder. We've called it that from day one. And we told you that data is important. Next thing you know, everybody has it. Oh God. So shiny new objects don't get you paid. Getting in a discount bin isn't get you quality education and or get you on any path of success. Stick with the folks that know it and that pass tests that are professionals. Deemed professionals. You got all of that. Check the box. If you can't make a decision off that by now and already see the writing on the wall, then you, my friend, I don't know. It's going to be a tough journey for you.
Wow. Pete, fired up.
He's cooking
All right,
already.
It'd be like that for the past year, right? Where it's just like new shiny object, then it fades away. The new shiny object, and it fades away. That's how it's been for 10 years, 14 years now.
I saw
the new
someone
shiny
make
one
the
that
joke
showed
on
up just a while ago is already getting fleeced. And I'm not going in the details of it. You either know or you don't.
It happened
seems
to
like
me in
there's a million of
the
these.
What's that?
NFT world. I bought some
I know.
NFTs in that.
I love that
Yeah,
era. That was so great.
Andre
That's where I
was
learned
just
about
having.
Discord.
No.
Really?
What do you guys are buying gifs, GIFs.
Yeah,
what are you guys
we're
doing?
buying.
You're buying screenshots?
What's the,
Buying a
I'm
screenshot?
buying
Bored ape? What are you
It's
doing?
a country song about something property in West Virginia. No, but you're buying it like in the meta in the woozy woo land. I'm buying.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I went into this Discord and like this guy who created this NFT and he's like the next biggest thing. And I was like, okay, I put $2,000 into it. And then he just started going off the handles. Like this guy was just trashing all the people who were buying it, saying like, don't sell it. We have to hold on to it. You guys are trash. And then he started
Diamond hands.
insulting everybody. And then it just went under and then he was gone. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah,
That's what happens when you pump $6 trillion
Is
into
it
the
at least
system.
a tax write-off?
Yeah, you give everybody money.
What do we do now, boss? Anyways, I
I
don't know.
gotta get it out of my pocket as quick as. Come on,
Spend it.
What?
Spend it. Anyways, speaking of real money, we make real money here at Topstep. Real trades, real profits, real traders. We're talking about some live P&Ls. Robert, good morning, happy Monday, Robert. Tell us about the live P&Ls and XFAs, sir.
Good morning. Happy Monday. This is Rob, if y'all know me that way. It's filling in for JD for the next couple of days. We're going to blow right through these stats. First, we get some live traders. Let's pull up that top 5 list, and we're going to go right into the XFAs. Here's the top 5 live P&L. It's supposed to be like day before, so we know this means Friday since we have the weekend. Alexis J at the top, $14,000. $14,000 in a day. Can you imagine that? Buckaron, number 2, 11,000. Anthony, 11,000. Santiago, 5,000. And Landon, 4,000. These are some familiar names. We like to see those at the top of the list. I am going to stay right on the screen here and refresh, move right down to the XFAs. But in the meantime, congratulations to Hogue for passing the Series 3, but I tell you what, we're getting through that book, and it is not easy. Take a bow, my friend. Take a bow. There you go. And while these things are loading up, I figured I'd channel my JD today. And everybody's got these hats on, so I figured I'd put a hat on. We get the brick wall behind me, and for JD, and now I know why he has a brick wall, so he can turn around and can bang his head on it doing these stats every morning. So that's where we go. Here we go. Top 5 XFA in P&Ls. Ashton $10,374. Matthew, we'll get back to in 1 second, but $9,000. Derek, $6,500. Lynn, $5,800, and Bush at $5,000. Let's get back to Matthew for 1 second. Even though Matthew has $9,700 in change, Matthew is copy trading 5 XFAs. That means that total is $48,246 on a freaking day, on a Friday. Congratulations to Matthew. We're going to wrap up some of the other things, get back to the markets. We have hot streaks and the payouts coming up, and you're not going to believe what we have for top payouts for all of last week. Get those numbers rolling, get that over and under ready to go. We'll see you back in a few.
Bring that up again real quick, just really quickly. I want you guys to always remember to read this. It's the very bottom. We're being as transparent as possible. At the very bottom says, the board reflects a small percentage of traders that are profitable.